Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ElTeacher podcast. I'm your host, Anthony, and in today's episode, we'll be learning how to resolve miscommunication. We'll explore useful vocabulary that can help you address common problems when interacting with another speaker. First of all, we're going to listen to a conversation to get familiar with the vocabulary. Then, we'll explain each word in detail along with examples, so you can understand how each word and phrase is used in context. Let's get started.
Hey, Mark, I wanted to follow up on the report you mentioned in yesterday's meeting. I'm trying to make sense of what you said about the deadlines. Did you mean Friday or next Monday?
Oh, I think you misheard me. I said next Monday, not Friday. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense now. Thanks for clarifying.
No problem. Miscommunication happens all the time, especially when there's a lot going on.
True, I maybe should have asked during the meeting, but I didn't want to interrupt.
It's always better to ask and not assume. That way, we avoid misunderstandings.
Definitely. So, just to clarify, the final draft is due next Monday, right?
Exactly, that's what I meant in the meeting. The first phrase is to make sense. The phrase to make sense is used to express that something is logical, clear, or easy to understand. When something makes sense, it is reasonable or understandable in a given context. You can use it to express clarity or understanding, for example, "Oh, I see now. Your explanation really makes sense."
I think we should leave early to avoid traffic.
That makes sense. Traffic gets really bad around this time.
English speakers use this phrase frequently to seek confirmation or clarity, making it an important phrase for language learners to understand and use. Next, we have misheard. Misheard is the past tense of mishear, which means to hear something incorrectly or misunderstand what was said. It happens when someone thinks they heard something, but in reality, it wasn't what the speaker intended. You know, when you're in a noisy room or maybe your headphones aren't working quite right and you think someone said something totally bizarre, yeah, that's misheard. It's those moments that can be hilarious, awkward, or even cause confusion. Let me give you an example. Imagine this. You're at a party and someone shouts over the music, "I love your hair." But you think they said, "I love your bear." And now you're standing there wondering, what bear? Do I look like I own a bear? That's what it means to mishear something, hearing one thing when they actually said something completely different.
I totally misheard the lyrics to that song. I thought they were singing, "Hold me closer, Tony Danza," but it's actually, "Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer."
Misheard moments are a part of life. They're funny, relatable, and can even help you learn how important clear communication is. So, next time you think someone said something strange, just double check. You might have misheard. Clarify. To clarify means to make something clear or easier to understand. It's what you do when someone is confused or unsure, and you explain or simplify the information to help them. You know that moment when someone explains something and you're left scratching your head like, wait, what? That's where the word clarify comes in. It's a lifesaver in conversations. For example, let's say your teacher says, read chapters 3 to 5 for tomorrow. And you're like, wait, all of chapter 5 or just part of it? You might say, can you clarify what you mean? It's polite and it saves you from doing unnecessary work. For example,
I had to clarify the directions because my friend went the wrong way.
She clarified her point during the meeting, and now everyone understands.
the word maybe means possibly or perhaps. It's used when you're not 100% sure about something. Maybe is one of those words that keeps life interesting. It's like saying, I'm not sure, but it could happen. For example, if someone asks, are you coming to the party? And you're not sure yet, you can just say, maybe. It's simple and it keeps your options open. For example, I'm not sure if I'll buy it. Maybe I'll wait for a sale.
Maybe we'll go to the beach if the weather's nice.
Misunderstand. To misunderstand means to not understand something correctly, leading to confusion or mistakes. Let me tell you, misunderstanding happens to all of us. It's when you think someone means one thing, but they actually meant something completely different. Like one time my friend said, meet me at the square, and I thought they meant the cafe called The Square. Turns out they meant the actual town square. Classic misunderstanding, right? For example,
I misunderstood the instructions, so I ended up at the wrong place.
We had a misunderstanding about what time to meet.
Congratulations! So far, we've learned 5 new words to add to our vocabulary, helping us clarify any misunderstandings that might arise in communication. But we're not done yet. We still have a couple more words to add to our arsenal. This time, let's listen to Sarah to get familiar with these new words.
Let me tell you about what happened to me yesterday. I woke up feeling great, thinking it was going to be a perfect day, but oh, what a day it turned out to be. You know what I mean, right? One of those days when everything seems fine at first, but then things just get a little crazy. So I decided to go to the park for a jog. I was running at my usual speed, and suddenly I saw this dog darting across the path. I had to slow down really quickly to avoid tripping over it. I mean, who lets their dog run around without a leash? Anyway, I stopped, and while I was catching my breath, I noticed the dog was carrying a frisbee in its mouth. I tried to catch it, but of course the dog thought I was playing a game and just ran away. And then, guess what happened next? A little boy ran up to me and said, "That's my dog." I was like, no way. This dog was so fast I thought it belonged to a superhero or something. The boy looked at me with a big smile and said, "Thanks for stopping the dog for me." I just smiled back and said, "How nice of you to say that." After all that excitement, I sat down on a bench to relax. It was such a beautiful day. Blue skies, birds chirping, and kids laughing in the distance. I thought to myself, now this is what I call a good day, even with all the unexpected surprises. You know what I mean, right? Sometimes life just gives you little adventures.
So the first word that we have is to mean. To mean is used to explain what someone intends to say or convey. It's all about intentions, what someone wants to communicate. For example, if someone says, "I'm tired," and you ask, "Do you mean you don't want to go out?" You're trying to understand their intention. It's a super useful phrase when you're not sure what someone's really trying to say. For example,
What do you mean by that comment?
I didn't mean to upset you. It was just a joke.
next we have to slow down. To slow down means to reduce speed, either literally or figuratively. To slow down is something we all need to do sometimes, whether it's while driving, talking, or even living life. For example, if you're rushing through an important project, someone might say, "Hey, slow down and double check your work." It's not just about speed, it's about taking your time to do things well. For example,
You're driving too fast. Slow down.
I need to slow down and take a break. I've been so busy lately.
next is the word to catch. To catch can mean to physically grab something, understand something, or even hear something clearly. To catch is a cool word because it has so many uses. You can catch a ball, catch a bus, or even catch what someone is saying. For example, if someone says something quietly, you might ask, "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again?" It's super useful in everyday conversations. For example,
Did you catch what he just said?
I'm running late. I need to catch the next train.
now we have the phrase "no way." No way is an informal expression used to show surprise, disbelief, or refusal. No way literally means absolutely not or that cannot be true. However, it is mostly used informally to express surprise, disbelief, or refusal. Have you ever heard something so shocking that all you could say was, "No way"? It's perfect for those moments of disbelief. For example, if a friend tells you they won the lottery, you'd probably say, "No way." It's also used to refuse something like, "No way am I eating that spicy food." For example,
You got tickets to the concert? No way.
No way. I'm going out in this rain.
how nice. How nice is a polite way to express that something is pleasant, kind, or enjoyable. How nice is a great way to show appreciation for something kind or pleasant. For example, if someone says, "I brought you some coffee," you can reply, "Oh, how nice of you." It's a simple, warm way to acknowledge something good. For example,
She baked cookies for everyone. How nice.
You're visiting your grandparents? How nice.
finally, the phrase "what a day." What a day is an expression used to emphasize how eventful, challenging, or surprising a day has been. Ever had one of those days where everything happens all at once? That's when you say, "What a day." It can be good, bad, or just exhausting. For example, after dealing with a flat tire, a long meeting, and missing your bus, you'd probably say, "What a day." But it works for positive situations too, like, "I got promoted and went out with friends. What a day." For example,
The car broke down and it started raining. What a day.
I went to the beach and saw a dolphin. What a day.
finally, let's listen again. This time, try to spot the vocabulary we just learned. This will help you remember it more easily and truly make those words your own.
Let me tell you about what happened to me yesterday. I woke up feeling great, thinking it was going to be a perfect day, but oh, what a day it turned out to be. You know what I mean, right? One of those days when everything seems fine at first, but then things just get a little crazy. So I decided to go to the park for a jog. I was running at my usual speed, and suddenly I saw this dog darting across the path. I had to slow down really quickly to avoid tripping over it. I mean, who lets their dog run around without a leash? Anyway, I stopped, and while I was catching my breath, I noticed the dog was carrying a frisbee in its mouth. I tried to catch it, but of course the dog thought I was playing a game and just ran away. And then, guess what happened next? A little boy ran up to me and said, "That's my dog." I was like, no way. This dog was so fast I thought it belonged to a superhero or something. The boy looked at me with a big smile and said, "Thanks for stopping the dog for me." I just smiled back and said, "How nice of you to say that." After all that excitement, I sat down on a bench to relax. It was such a beautiful day. Blue skies, birds chirping, and kids laughing in the distance. I thought to myself, now this is what I call a good day, even with all the unexpected surprises. You know what I mean, right? Sometimes life just gives you little adventures.
That's all for today's episode of ElTeacher Podcast. I hope you enjoyed learning these useful phrases and feel more confident using them in your conversations. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who's also looking to improve their English skills and expand their vocabulary. And don't forget, you can always visit our website to download materials specifically designed for learning English. If you're a teacher, you'll find resources that can help you plan and enhance your classes. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and keep leveling up.